Uh, excuse me. Quick question. Do you sell sound packs? Yup. Okay. But are your creative rights protected when selling those sound packs? And are you making the most money you possibly can with those sound packs? I have no clue. Well, these are definitely some things that you should know. So, let's dive in and talk about it. Hi, I'm Sikwitit with Airbit, and it's our goal to make sure you have the necessary tools and features to help set you up for success. But beyond that, it's even more important that we educate you on their full functionality. So, to our producers looking to or are currently utilizing Airbit's Sound Pack feature, we want to do a deep dive that covers how to properly set up your Sound Pack licenses and agreements, along with the benefits of having these in place. Now, we recently did a video called How to Upload Sound Packs, which briefly touched on this topic, but we want to give you the step-by-step process so that you fully understand how to properly set everything up. Now, the main reason this is so important to us is because we want to make sure that you as a creator are protected when monetizing your craft. Too often, the business is overlooked or mishandled when dealing with producers, and we want to ensure that you are able to make the best of every opportunity that comes from your creation, such as major placements or bigger paydays that can all contribute to you continuing to build your professional resume. So, before we get started, I want to mention that all of our efforts on this topic have been accompanied with extensive research with experienced producers in the sound pack arena, our community, and insight from our legal team. Now, even though we have done our part to make sure you're covered, nothing discussed here in this video should be taken as legal advice, and we always encourage our community to seek the counsel from an entertainment attorney as an extra step on your part. Okay, let's get started. Similar to when you sell beats, you'll want to stipulate how your kits can be used. I will be mentioning terms such as license, which determines the terms and conditions of how the sounds in the kit can be used, and the term agreement, also known as the contract, which is a legally binding document between both buyer and seller. Alright, let's head over to our seller dashboard to set up our licenses and agreements. In your dashboard, you're going to want to click Selling Tools. Then click Sound Pack Agreements to view, edit, or create any agreement. It's important to set these agreements up first because we will need to attach them to a Sound Pack license in just a second. On this page, you can click New Agreement to create your own agreement, or you can click any agreement name to view and edit it. All users will have our default full royalty-free agreement to begin with. Let's walk through setting up the new agreement. First, click New Agreement. Then, click Empty Agreement. Click Create Agreement. Now, fill out the agreement name that best describes what it will cover. Now, you can create your own agreement and type it in. You can also have an attorney write you an agreement and have them send it to you in digital form. You can then copy and paste the contents of that agreement in this section. Once you're done, scroll to the bottom of the page and click Create Agreement. The screen will then return to the main agreement page and you should see your new agreement listed. If you ever wish to make changes on these agreements, you can do so by clicking on the agreement you want to change. Make the changes and then click Save Agreement at the bottom of the page. Here's a note to keep in mind. You cannot edit the two pre-existing agreements that we provided for you on this page. If you click on them, they will just appear in view mode. They are permanent and remain on your list and can be used as templates to create new ones and saved with different titles. Let's walk through editing an existing agreement. We have two agreement templates saved for you to instantly use. I will go over the differences in agreements in just a second. You can edit these if you want to use them as a template, kind of like a starting point to completely restructure the verbiage and then title it with a completely new agreement title. The process is the same for both pre-existing agreements, so we will just pick the Airbit Hybrid Royalty-Free Agreement to demonstrate how it works. First, click New Agreement. Then, click Airbit Hybrid Royalty-Free Agreement. Now, click Create Agreement. You will see that there is no title in the file name. Title this agreement with the new title that best describes the purpose of this agreement. Let's say I want to use this agreement to target the usage of my sound packs in video content for YouTubers. I would title this YouTube Content Creators Agreement. I can then go into the body of the agreement and make the appropriate changes. I use this template because I may want to keep certain elements of the agreement, but make changes specific to YouTubers. Once done, scroll to the bottom of the page and click Create Agreement. The screen will then return to the main agreement page and you should see your new agreement listed. If you ever wish to make changes to these agreements, you can do so by clicking on the agreement you want to change, make the changes, and then click Save Agreement at the bottom of the page. Here's an important note. A signature page will automatically be added to the bottom of your agreement. You do not need to add a signature section to any of your agreements. Hey, quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get updated on cool new content like what you're watching right now. Also, join us on Discord. It's the perfect place for questions and conversation, not only with the Airbit team, but our entire community. All right, let's get back to it. Now, before we move on to setting up licenses and associating the appropriate agreements, let's go over the two pre-existing agreements and identify the differences and how they should be used. Okay, first, let's take a look at the full royalty agreement. This agreement is pretty simple and straight to the point. With this agreement, after the buyer purchases the license for this pack, they can use it royalty-free for personal, non-exclusive use in commercial or non-commercial purposes. As long as the buyer adheres to the terms of the agreement, you, the producer, are not entitled to any royalties that generate from the song or songs created with the elements of the sound pack by the buyer. Alright, now let's jump over to the hybrid royalty-free agreement. This agreement has some similarities to the full royalty-free agreement, but is different because while it is still royalty-free, the terms of the agreement can change to non-royalty-free. Let me explain. The sound pack can be used royalty-free for personal, non-exclusive use in commercial or non-commercial purposes, but has benchmarks in place. Once a benchmark occurs, the terms of the agreement are terminated. The buyer no longer has rights to use a pack and must then enter into a written agreement with the producer if the buyer wishes to continue to use a song that uses elements from the sound pack. If you and the buyer do not enter into an agreement, the buyer has no rights moving forward. The producer is not entitled to any royalties within the original term prior to a song reaching a benchmark. After the benchmark is reached, the producer can negotiate publishing and royalty percentages in the new agreement. So, what are the benchmarks? Great question. One of the benchmarks is a major release. So, if a song is created using one or multiple elements from the sound pack and is released by a major record label such as Universal, Warner, Sony, or any of their subsidiaries. The other benchmark is when a song and or music video reaches 1 million streams across Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, and or any similar services. This agreement only allows the use of the pack within the terms, and the buyer cannot transfer the copyright that you own, which means the buyer is not allowed to enter into a sync or master use license without obtaining written approval from you. So, if a network, video streaming service, ad agency, or gaming company reaches out to them to use a song that was created using elements from your sound pack, they must contact you first for permission and clearance to license it. Now, here are some similarities between the agreements. The buyer does not have any right to use your producer name or likeness in any published material. For example, a producer cannot add produced by Kwesi and Sikwitit or co-produced by Sikwitit. Now, if you wish to obtain credit on the song, you can submit a written request and the buyer must adhere to the request. Next, you still retain ownership of the sound pack. You control the copyrights in the composition, master, and sounds and can use it how you want. Next, the buyer does not have the right to repackage, resell, or license any of the sounds within the sound pack. They must be used in accompaniment with other sounds and instruments outside of the sound pack to create a new song before it can be used. Now, let's move on to setting up licenses and associating the appropriate agreements with them. Keep in mind, Like Beats, you can have different license tiers with different price points for your kits, while providing different agreements for each one. Alright, in your dashboard, click on Selling Tools, then click on Sound Pack Licenses to view, edit, or create a license and attach an agreement. Let's start with creating a new license. First, click on Add New License. Alright, now enter a license title that best describes the license and the agreement that will be attached to it. For instance, if this license is for YouTube content creators, and I'm going to attach the YouTube content creator agreement to it, then we can maybe title this YouTube Content Creator License. Okay, then click the drop menu under Agreement and attach the appropriate agreement. In this case, it will be the YouTube Content Creator Agreement. Next, set up a default price. Make sure the price you create is in line with the value this license provides. Once you have completed that, click Save License at the bottom. Now, let's link this license and agreement to the appropriate sound pack. You'll want to do that by clicking Add Sound Pack at the bottom. Next, click the Select All box if you want to apply this to all your uploaded sound packs. If you don't want to apply this to all your sound packs, then go through your list of uploaded sound packs and select the ones you do want that specific license and agreement to apply to. Once you have done that, click Assign at the bottom of the page. It will return to the license template page, and you will see your assigned sound packs in the Associated With box near the bottom. Once complete, hit the back button at the top right hand side of the license template page. You should now see your listed license or licenses at the bottom. You can click the pencil icon to edit them or the trash icon to delete the licenses. And that's it. You are now properly set up. You can now provide your sounds to other producers comfortably knowing you are protected. Utilizing the sound pack feature and having the proper licenses and agreements available can be very lucrative for you in addition to the value you already provide to your customers. I hope this helps. Be sure to like and comment below and subscribe to our Airbit channel for more content. Also, don't forget to follow us on Discord so you can connect with our community and discuss all things music. You can find the link and others in the description. Until next time, stay creative. Peace.